I got new shocks. Hey everyone, John Wright with Overlanding Robotics, and here today I'm here to talk about some new shocks, specifically coilovers from Ironman that we got new for the GX460. Ironman makes some foam cell pro technology that's pretty impressive. This is a coilover for the GX460, but they make them for all kinds of vehicles, and what comes with it is an assembled new heavy duty spring, as well as the foam cell pro technology. Really cool, unique kind of technology for your struts on your vehicle. Doesn't have any pressurized gas. Uses a foam like you'd see in a yoga mat. Kai from Tinkerer's Adventure did a really nice video on this technology, and I'd like to thank him for that because that helped me make the decision to go with this guy. Some advantages for the Foam Cell Pro that I liked is that number one, you have a full adjustability in the collar. It's actually got a double collar so you can lock it in place. So if you got Toyota lean, which with the GX, that I was concerned about that. Now I have the ability to adjust it to any ride height, all four corners, or actually just the front corners because I'm running just, this is just a front conversion, but you can do it on all four corners if you get the full package. And number two, the twin tube construction of the cylinder, okay, so which will give you less thermal fade because it has more surface area in contact with the container of the oil. And last but not least, the third point that I was looking at was price. Trying to find that right price point for what I do with my vehicle that suits my needs. This is what we're replacing. This is actually the stock Toyota coilover. And you can see much lighter. I can actually hold that fairly easily with one hand. It's probably a good 15 or 20 pounds lighter than the Foam Cell Pro. It's also not as thick. You can definitely see the difference in the shock. And this is just a stock spring rate. And of course, we upgraded the spring rate because I'm going to put more weight on the vehicle. I already have a little bit more weight than stock. If you've seen my GX460 in other videos, you've seen that we've got a hybrid front bumper, okay? And we've got some other mods on there, but nothing super heavy. But we are thinking about putting some new armor underneath, okay? Some skid plates, maybe some rock rails, okay, in order to protect the vehicle if we decide to upgrade and do some more blue trail type stuff. Nothing crazy, not making a rock crawler, but do want to have a little fun on the weekends. But it's my everyday driver. But anyway, this is the stock one, but it does have a spacer in the front, and that's the way I bought it. It's just I believe it's a Daystar spacer kit, level kit, and it has worked well for me. The only reason I decided to upgrade was because one of these was weeping. And when you look at the price of what struts are going to cost you for a Lexus to get the OEM, might as well consider also looking at some aftermarket. And that's what I did. That took me down a whole bunch of research paths, to try to find what's available, what's out there. And I landed on the Ironman. That's the one I decided to go with. And I'm going to talk about some performance. We're going to compare in video the before and after shots that we took. All right, so let's talk about some comparisons. Let's talk about the driving experience overview. So we really have a bunch of different cases that we need to look at. First one is around town, on the highway, the everyday kind of driving. And I was pleasantly surprised with the Ironman. I went with the heaviest rate coil that we could get. And that was because I'm going from a medium type coil to the heavy, so I can add up to a couple of 100 pounds more of weight. I already have technically, with the winch and the hybrid bumper up in the front, probably about 120 pounds over stock. And with that, I always felt that with also the lift, because with the spacer kit, remember the vehicle is lifted 2.5 inches from stock. And when I'm going around a corner on the highway, at least with the original setup, I would feel it kind of lean a little bit. And with the new technology, with the Foam Cell Pros, I don't get that lean. It's more planted. It feels a little bit tighter, okay? And I like that. It makes it much more enjoyable. And I don't really find it to be too stiff around town. I actually find it eats up the small bumps and goes over the speed bumps just fine. In fact, in the rear of my truck, I have the stock. And when I go over speed bumps, the front goes over and it handles the bump fairly well. Like 20, 25 miles an hour, I'm taking a speed bump and it recovers very quick. In the back, it bounces a little bit more. So I like that. I like that feel. Take it off the trail. You go out and you start looking at like forest roads, which we do a lot of. I don't see much of a difference on the forest roads, to be honest, between the original setup I had and this setup. They both ride really nice, but I did see a big difference, okay, when it comes to braking. I feel like when I was braking from 30 miles an hour or more, and I think we did a test on that, and hopefully you're going to see that as I'm chatting here. You'll see the nose dive, and it starts to dive even earlier, and then it oscillates just a little bit more with the lighter rate springs. So I think that's probably more so to do with the springs than the shocks, okay, the struts that we have with the technology. But I do appreciate that kind of comfort, so it doesn't dive as much if I have to step on the brakes. Then you get onto some of the more technical trails with some more rocks and some big boulders, or not super big, but green type trails if you're overlanding. And inside the vehicle, it felt like it was moving us around. It felt stiffer, to be honest. I thought it felt a little stiffer. But when we put the video, we did a ghosting video that you might see here of the two vehicles before and after, and you can see the after shot is with the vehicle that has the exposed fog lights. The ones with the covers on, the shot with the covers on the video, that's the Ghost. That is the original. And there is not much difference. If anything, it looks like the vehicle is not moving as much left to right with the new Foam Cell Pros. So could just be that, it took us 6-7 weeks between takes just because of life. And, we did the installations, and we had some other things come up, and I had to do some travel. My son did some travel. So we're just getting around now to finally, we just shot last weekend. We went up to Bald Eagle and we shot the same trail. You can see that in the videos. You can see that we started with leaves on the trees, and now there's just not as many there now. But we've been really pleasantly surprised with the all around. And I really think, and I must say that I did the whole, both before and after, with exactly 34 PSI in all the tires. We didn't air down. Of course, if you air down, it's going to ride a little smoother on top of that. So I think that's going to make it even more enjoyable because normally I would come down on forest roads to about 25. And, if I were going to do some green trails, I might go down to 15 or 16 PSI. But I think when we add the weight, when we add some, the extra accessories we want with the skid plates and the rock sliders, that's going to push me up another, probably 100 pounds more on the vehicle. And I think that's where those extra, the heavier duty spring rates are really going to pay off. And, I'm not going to sacrifice the lift height either. It's not going to be nose it down. I'm probably got a slight rake up right now, maybe about 1/4 inch, but it's not very noticeable. But with the new weight, that should level that out just fine. So overall, pretty dang happy with it. Hey everyone, hope you found the video useful, especially if you're upgrading your GX460 with a new set of coilovers. We do have an installation video that's available. I'll put the link down in the description below. Hope you find that equally as useful. Anyway, have a great night. Like and subscribe.